What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. And if you are on the podcast platforms, please do subscribe. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place, especially as I am recording this so early in the morning. But guys, I wanted to talk about Kim Zolciak, and we're going to have a conversation/reality chat because we previously discussed that her home was going into foreclosure. And listen, I'm not here to celebrate anyone's downfall, not even those that have hurt me, betrayed me, backstabbed me, those that have, really done things that would warrant them reaping what they have sown. Listen, we all go through things in life, and I do believe that you reap what you sow. And Kim has done a lot of things that we have seen, that we have been, as the viewing public, the viewing audience, that she has wanted. Because let's face it, anyone that goes on these reality shows, it's because they want to be seen, they want to be noticed, they want to live a certain lifestyle. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want, as long as you're not committing any crimes to do so. And, we've seen a few housewives that have either been by proxy attached to someone that has committed some crimes, like Erica Jane of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, or Jen Shah, who has done it not by proxy, but she was actually the head culprit of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So, listen, we all know that a lot of these housewives, they portray living a life that they really cannot afford to live, because they're living off of clients' settlements, like Erica Jane's husband was doing, and now he's listen, I don't know if this man is even going to survive past the point of any criminal conviction, if they get that, because he hasn't been convicted yet, but they're starting that process, ramping that up. And now Jen Shah, she's serving time, about 6.5 years in a Texas federal prison, because she wanted to portray living a lifestyle that she really couldn't afford to live. And it's sad, But anyway, we're here to talk about Kim Zolciak. And I want to say, it seems like now she's trying to save face while also trying to save her home. And listen, I don't know where they would go, because she has 2 adult children now, and then she has 4 children with her husband, Croy, who she got married to in 2011. And I really don't believe that guy has the good sense that God and his mom who raised him gave him, because it just seems like he let this woman really roll him over. It was just really weird. If you watched Real Housewives of Atlanta back in the day, and you just saw how he seemed to be so entranced by her, which is weird. Listen, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but anyway. she's changed her face a little bit since they got married, but I don't know what the attraction was, to the point that he would literally disown his own family, because we saw that she disowned her family. So I don't know where they would go. They have been living in this beautiful mansion. I mean, the home is beautiful in Georgia, but it was reported that it was going into foreclosure last year. And then she went on a rant to respond to the quote unquote haters about that. Well, the story is that she's telling everyone that the foreclosure is a misunderstanding. So the story comes from Fox News Online, and it says Kim Zolciak and husband Croy Bierman aren't moving out of the multi-million-dollar Georgia mansion they've made a home, even though the estate is in foreclosure and set to go public auction. The former Real Housewives of Atlanta star claimed there's simply some confusion with the property she purchased in 2011 in the affluent Atlanta suburb of Alpharetta, where she watched her 6 children grow up. last week, the Fulton County Courthouse released a public notice stating the home was under foreclosure and would be put up for auction on March the 7th. The source told People that she's telling everyone this is a misunderstanding and it's being sorted out. She's not moving. And Zolciak's representative told Fox News Digital, we are not commenting. So to me, it sounds like she's trying to save face by telling everyone, oh, it's just a misunderstanding, and they're not moving. And also not giving any direct comments to any publications. Because I believe that she's, like she used to say, asking, believing, and hopefully receiving that she's going to be able to stay put in that house. And listen, I'm not hoping that they get kicked out. That's not what I want. I'm not wishing that at all. But the thing that puts a bad taste in people's mouths about her is because of how she is, her actions, what she says. Okay, she did this video last year where she was walking around the mansion. This was after the first stories came out about her home being in foreclosure. And she was addressing the quote-unquote rumors. Even though there weren't rumors, this was court documents. You know, like, this is court documents. No one made this up. So she was in the video and she was saying, if you guys think I would let my home that we've put millions and millions of dollars into go for $257,000, you're an idiot, okay? For real. And then she was saying, so what are you going to do, haters, when I'm here for Christmas, and I'm here for my birthday in May, and I'm here for all these amazing dates? I'm here until I effing want to move, until I decide I want to live here anymore. I don't want to live here anymore. So enjoy the view, haters. You're going to be seeing it for quite some time. Listen, I don't follow Kim. I've never followed anything that she's done. Anything that I see is just like this. It's via a news story because it was something that was, I guess, newsworthy. And this is actually newsworthy, especially for somebody like her who just does not sound like she is someone that is fiscally responsible. Because listen, if you've seen clips of her, you've seen that she lived a very lavish lifestyle. You've seen that she was an excessive gambler. She would spend thousands of dollars on lottery tickets. She was driving, drinking wine out of a red Solo cup. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's just trashy. I'm sorry. She's just trashy. I'm not going to use the W word in front of the trash, but you get my drift. She is trashy. And then to admittedly say out of your mouth, if this is even true, because we know she is not the most honest person. If you think, guys, that I will let my home that we've put millions and millions of dollars into, who puts millions and millions of dollars into a home that, I mean, even though it's a very nice home, it's beautiful, that's not fiscally responsible, because the home the home is appraised for $2.5 million in value. So if you're telling us that you put millions and millions of dollars into your home that's only worth $2.5 million, then you're not the most fiscally responsible person. You're downright ridiculous and stupid if you want to, if you want to be 100% real about it. Millions and millions of dollars into? Are you freaking kidding me? She is such a liar. I don't believe that. We don't believe that. Because if you had millions and millions of dollars to put into the home, then the home would not be in foreclosure. Or maybe you would put a lot of money into the home but not pay the bills. Because fiscally irresponsible people, they do things like that. They will spend money on the aesthetics to showcase a lifestyle to people, spending money on clothes and the exterior of yourself, but your bills are backed up and then you need help to pay your bills. Just being real. Like, that's what fiscally irresponsible people do. So if she was the head of the household and Croy was following her lead, then that is definitely the blind leading the blind. And the Bible says, you know what the Bible says about that? The blind leading the blind, they both wind up in a ditch. And it looks like that's where both of them are winding up. If she can't convince Big Papa I'm just being honest because I don't know who else she could really reach out to that could save her. Maybe she's convincing Big Papa to buy the home and rent it out to them, or allow her to do some other favors where they don't have to pay the money to stay in the home. I don't know. I'm just saying, because she, again, has not been the most honest person. If you remember, guys, if you watched The Real Housewives of Atlanta, before they got this home that was actually, the home that they bought, ironically, was a home that was being built that wound up being in foreclosure. So they wound up getting a short sale. Good for them. Because that is a great investment if you can get a home that is a short sale where you're buying it for less than what it's worth. And then you wind up getting this home that winds up being worth $2.5 million. That's a great thing. But prior to that, they were renting a home that she said they were going to be buying. And this was the home that they actually got married in. And if you remember, after the wedding, they were being evicted. And she claims that the reason they were being evicted was because the owner got pissed off at her because they decided to back out of buying the house because the home appraised for less than what they wanted to sell it for, and they were not willing to buy it for more than what it appraised for. That didn't sound right to me back then, and to this day it still doesn't stand. And it just shows that she is somebody that's just not honest when it comes to a lot of things, but especially when it comes to things like this. And she trashed Kandi. And when Kandi bought the home that she bought, that was a foreclosure that actually was 2 houses that Kandi still lives in, by the way. She was trashing Kandi's home because she was jealous. 100%. She was jealous of Kandi. She was with Sweetie at the time. That was during the time when Sweetie was her assistant / so-called friend. But they were being negative about the neighborhood that the home was in. She was talking about the fact that Kandi's pool was indoors, and she's like, well, you don't need any sun, so I guess that's a good thing for you, and just saying a lot of negative things. And Kandi was like, I'm really not feeling the comments that Kim is making right now, but maybe, she's saying these things because I'm buying my dream home and hers is now becoming a nightmare. And that was actually during the time when Kim was being evicted and they were having to get their crap packed up as quickly as possible and get out of that house. So Kim, somehow things worked out for her and she was able to get this home that was built that wound up being a foreclosure that they were able to somehow get the financing for to buy it. So that was a good thing for her, and that lasted for a long time. But now we're in 2023 and the home is being foreclosed on. Their show that they had, Don't Be Tardy, which was, I guess, their only real source of income because Croy hasn't worked in the NFL for several years. And it wasn't like he was Russell Wilson or some star NFL player. He was an NFL player and he no longer is playing. So I don't know where the money is coming from, but when you don't have the money coming in and you still have the bills coming in, you have to make some changes. And I said this on my previous conversation / reality chat that she's just not smart when it comes to these finances, because they should have just sold the home, gotten the value out of that, and downsized. They did not need to live in this big mansion, but because Kim had this penchant for fine living and this luxury lifestyle that he really could not afford, then now it's gotten them to the place where their pride has wound them up to a place of having to explain away this foreclosure news and saying, oh, it's just a misunderstanding, we're not moving out. Well, she's probably asking and believing and right now hoping that she's going to receive an offer that someone will buy the home and rent it out to them and allow them to stay in it. And who knows, maybe she already worked something out by this time. I don't wish that they have to get, packed up and moved out and go where. I don't know where they would go. But I guarantee you, if they did have to move, there would be another story where she come out and everything with Kim, it's always about trying to save face. Which is ironic because she's had so much work done on her face. You wouldn't think that she would try to save face. She would just be, willing to move along and do what she needed to do to survive. But I digress. I just wanted to talk about this, guys. So you let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section. This is Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.